I was at Lexington High School my very first year out of college as junior varsity coach there, and then went to Winsboro, worked for two incredibly talented coaches that were great mentors for me. And I had dated my wife, Valerie. She went to Spring Valley with me, and then went to Wake Forest, and I was at Erskine College, so we kind of had a little separate, a long distance relationship there for a while. And we decided that we were going to get married. And we did not feel like Winsboro was the place we wanted to be at that time. And I was offered the junior varsity coaching job here at Irmo by Earl Lovelace. And we talked about it a lot. We even had like a plus and minus thing we were looking at when weighing what we should do. But I would say the reason I ended up at Irmo High School was because I got married. And people today don't know what Irmo High School was like in the 80s or even 90s. And we talk about it all the time, a tradition of excellence. Well, that's what Irmo High School was. It was excellence. I mean, there were no better programs anywhere. Every sport, academics, the size of the school, the teachers, the community. And as I've gotten older, things have certainly changed along that way, but at the same time, there has been no better place than to be here. You're wanted, you have success, you have the opportunity to be around good people who care, and there was never a reason for me to want to leave. The 91 year, we played in the state championship the year prior to that. That kind of set the tone for everything. It was finally a culmination of all the hard work and and I had tremendous coaches to work with, and then finally the talent was starting to come through, and so 91 was the first state championship.
Coach he was an extremely good motivator. He was somebody who understood his players. You could really get along with Coach no matter what the type makeup was. He know how to push your buttons at times. He could coach you hard because you knew he cared. And that's what type of person he is, what type of coach he is. And he's more than just a coach to me. He's a mentor, a very good friend, someone who I can confide in at times, even though I have my own dad. He's somebody that I always know is going to be there when I need him the most.
I've enjoyed this last 4 weeks, this last 3 weeks of the season more than I have any other year, because this was unexpected. This was not something that we looked at. Maybe the kids did, I don't know, but that I looked at and said, hey, this is a state championship quality team. I knew we could be good, I knew we could be competitive, but I never knew that we would be able to attain the success that we were. And I think that says so much about this group. And I think our guys, they buy in, they understand there's a tradition, they understand what it means to be successful. This group was a team in every aspect of the word. Everybody had a role, whether that role was playing in games, whether that was playing a lot in games or a little in games, or whether that was being a practice player. And every single one of those young men improved, got better. And to me, from a coaching standpoint, see, that's the victory. The rest is just great. It's watching those guys grow and be better people and better players. If you look at this team, you see a champion. That's what this team was. It's like we are Irmo. This is what Irmo has to offer. This is what we're capable of becoming as a school, as at Irmo High School, not just our athletic program. Our athletic program represents our high school, and they are all a piece of that. So I think that our success is our school's success, and I've had more joy and happiness and satisfaction and feeling of accomplishment from this group than any other group I've coached.
Extremely overwhelming this year. I think that, he goes into every season not thinking that it's going to happen. But then just all of a sudden with each game, it was like we won again, we won again, we won again, and kind of unexpected. And so it made it even more enjoyable. And I because I was on maternity leave, got to be a little bit more of a spectator than a coach. And that made it a little bit more fun too.
I think there's a lot of things that people are born with. They're blessed. They have, whether that's athletic ability or whether that's being extremely intelligent. We all have certain gifts, and I can't put a finger on the exact thing that makes me be able to adjust to that type of situation. Is all I know is that every single year, we as a coaching staff, but me especially, spend a lot of time trying to figure out what our kids do best, put them in a position to be successful, and then give them an opportunity to do that.
I honestly just think that his passion and his knowledge has made him successful, but he's just been blessed with good groups of kids, and the ones that don't really buy into what he has to offer don't make it, and the ones that do make it, and the success comes from that. So I don't think there's necessarily a recipe to his success. I think that he just reflects each year, starts fresh, but still takes, little tidbits from the season before, the good and the bad, and applies them, but also starts with a clean slate.
He's learned how to develop through time, through generations, and a lot of coaches can adapt to that as far as, kids change through generations. And to be able to do what he's done through multiple generations, and the game has even changed. His offense has changed, and I just think he's been very adaptable through times, to be able to do that and to be able to do it at such a successful rate.
You cannot measure that. You hear people talk about how the family and the wife is so great and all that. The sacrifices that a family, from a coaching standpoint, especially the way I coached and the time that is put in, is absolutely incredible. Where I was so blessed, first of all, my wife Valerie loves basketball. She doesn't really like a lot of other sports, but she loves basketball, and she lives it like I do. I mean, she can't hardly watch a game sometimes, and pacing around, and it's a hard thing, and the hours that I'm gone, especially with the raising the kids. It is so admirable, because when you have a person that invests so much of their life, whether it's a business world or whatever, then someone kind of has to give up some things along the way, and she was willing to do that and live that with me, and that's special. Now, the second part of that is having two daughters, which was fantastic. I would rather have daughters than a son, and they both went to school here. I saw them every day. They were a part of my life every single day. They were a part of growing up, and I was with them every second. I don't see how a person can be successful, unless they're just tremendously selfish, if they don't have a family like I have that shared every moment with me. It's incredible the how many moments I don't think of as just my moments. It's our moments.
He did a really, really good job of prioritizing us. Obviously, during basketball season, many late nights, and he wasn't home practicing every day. But I think we also did a good job of going to almost every single game. And, I actually would go to practices all the time. And the players joked because they loved when we came to practice because he seemed to be a little bit nicer to them. But he did a really, really good job. He didn't miss dance recitals. He didn't miss games. Even now with me coaching and my sister being a theater teacher, he doesn't miss a show and he doesn't miss a competition. So I think it was difficult because he was gone a lot. But he made it a really good point to be at everything that he could possibly be at.
Every aspect of what he's taught, just remembering what he taught us in high school, just what a tradition was all about, and laying it all out on the floor and playing hard, and not only playing on the basketball floor, but also taught us about the game of life, what it was like to look at him in the aspect of being a good father, being a good husband, being a good friend. All of that goes all in one. He's taught me to be a better man. He's taught me to be a better person. He's taught me to be a better coach. And he's just taught me in every aspects of life, just like any high school coach does. But he's truly special. He's like no other.
I've done a lot of reflection, after this one, because it as I said, it was so much fun. It was so rewarding. So happy for not just my team and players and families and all that, but for this school. This was an opportunity for everybody to come together, for everybody to feel some pride, that Irmo pride that we have in the gym. It's humbling. It is a wonderful feeling that you go through a life, you work hard, and then you're rewarded for that work. Not everybody gets the opportunity to do that. And so I appreciate every second of it, and I never take it for granted, and I never have.
But I think that Legend, they joke, Legend, the GOAT, that he really implanted a sense of Irmo pride here, and that for people who have been around as long as he has, that the kids change, the staff changes, the dynamic of the game changes a little bit, but one thing stayed consistent, and that was him. And I don't know if you can put that into a word, but that just his presence and his commitment to Irmo, it's just legend, pride. I feel like you can't have Irmo without the name Whipple.
Winner. A winner, both on and off the court, or off the floor. Coach has changed so many lives with basketball alone, let alone how many lives he's changed off the floor. He's won the game of life. That's the first thing. You can say legend, or you can say whatever the case may be, but in my mind, he's a winner.
There is so much I could say. There is so much I could talk about. There are so many people that along the way help, contribute, and are so much a part of any success that one person has. That you can talk about you personally, but if those people weren't in your lives, you never would be where you are. Now we talk about family, but the assistant coaches that I've had over the years have been incredible people, and coaches, the players. You don't win without talent, and every one of them need to be mentioned, and there's hundreds of them, and just the other people that help, the administration. Without support, you can't do the things that you need to do, because this is a special place. The names change, the people change, the look change, but some things don't change. And I think that Irmo pride and that excellence will always be here. And I am so proud to be a part of that and to have been able to experience that. I've been blessed.